Hello guys, what's up? It's time for another video, and as I promised you yesterday, this is going to be a weekly review of the movies I've seen in the past week. And last week I saw 5 movies, and let's start up here with a movie that I showed you yesterday in my collection update, and that was Unstoppable, directed by Tony Scott and starring Denzel Washington and Chris Pine. Now, I have seen this one some years back, but I don't remember much about it or what I thought about the movie. So that's why I wanted to watch this one again. Yeah, it's quite a good movie, and it's a sort of a disaster flick where involving a runaway train, and Denzel Washington and Chris Pine plays two railway workers that has to find some way to stop this train before a big disaster happens. Quite a good film, and also, if my memory serves me right, this one sadly became Tony Scott's last picture before he died. So, yeah, Unstoppable, good film. I give it a solid 3 out of 5. Next up here, I saw 3 movies that I sadly can't show you anything. I have no cases or anything, since I rented these films and returned them yesterday. So that's why I can't show you anything, but I can talk about them and tell you what I thought about them. So first off, here I saw The Last Stand, sort of Arnold Schwarzenegger's comeback to action films, and that is not counting what he did in Expendables and Expendables 2. But so this is considered his first true leading man action film since he got back from being governor of California. So anyway, back to the film. Here he plays a local town sheriff in a small town on the U.S.-Mexican border, and there is this really bad guy of a drug lord that's escaping from the FBI, and he's heading towards Schwarzenegger's little border town, and which gives us some pretty decent action scenes and action in general in this film. So yeah, The Last Stand, decent action flick. Schwarzenegger does a good job as this sheriff, and most of the other cast as well do a pretty decent job here. There is this one character that is in for sort of comic relief that I think the movie could do without. But other than that, I thought Last Stand was a decent action film, and I give it a 3 out of 5. Next up I saw Bullet to the Head, starring Sylvester Stallone. And if Last Stand was a decent action film, Bullet to the Head is sadly not. not so much because Sylvester Stallone does a bad job in this. He doesn't. He's actually the one thing really that makes this movie watchable. But other than that, this film really lacks in the script, which is poorly written. The dialogue is really cheesy, and the villain is not any good here. Jason Momoa plays the opposing hitman here, but he really isn't the main villain in this film. That is another character which I sadly forgotten the name of both the character and who plays him. But other than never mind that. But Bullet to the Head, not a good action film. I give it a 2 out of 5. It should really be lower, but I give it a 2 out of 5, primarily because Stallone does a good job here, and if he hasn't been would have been in this movie, then this would have been a total waste of time. So there you go. The third film I saw was a Swedish film, which doesn't how shall I say it? It isn't very common that I see Swedish films. But this one has had. There's been a lot of talk in Sweden about this film. It's called. The film is called Call Girl. It's the story takes place in the 70s and centers around a 15-year-old girl named Iris, who she has some problems at home, and being placed in sort of a youth home, and but she escapes during the evenings, goes to Stockholm, and from there she gets picked up by the more sort of seedier elements of the town, and ends up being a high level prostitute or call girl. So hence the movie, the title of the movie. I should say this one is based on real events in Sweden that took place during this time and during the 70s, which was a big scandal. We call it Bordellhärvan, which revolved around some high-level government officials, even ministers, and members of the industry being caught as customers to call girls or prostitutes. So this movie is revolving around this story or this event. But I didn't really like this film that much. It's beautifully shot. The time period is equally beautifully realized, but and there is some really good acting in some parts, I should say. I don't really buy the lead character here, so, Iris, which is played by a Swedish actor called Sofia Karemyr. I didn't really get any sort of sympathy for her character, really, and so I think the movie sort of lacks in that area, and also it's trying to do too much. It's trying to tell a story that's really is too big for the movie, if you know that makes sense to you. So anyway, I give it a 3 out of 5, mainly because this is a beautifully shot picture and the time period is so meticulously realized on screen. So, and also I have to give credits to Pernilla August, who does a really good, gives a really good performance as the head of this call girl organization, or whatever you call it. So yeah, Call Girl, quite a decent flick, but not really to my taste. But a 3 out of 5. And the last picture I saw last week was the Wolverine, which I saw in the movie theater. And I have been looking forward to the Wolverine for some time now, and I was really excited to see how if this would be better than the first Wolverine, the X-Men Origins Wolverine, which I really thought it was, because the X-Men Origins Wolverine was really not that good. It had some good scenes, but as a whole, it wasn't that good. The Wolverine is it's sort of a mixed bag as well. I thought the 2/3 of the movie was quite good. However, I thought the ending, the last third of the movie, wasn't that good, or as good as the first 2/3, mainly because they had some issues there that I didn't really like how they have done it. But Hugh Jackman, great job as Wolverine yet again. James Mangold as the director does a decent job, and the rest of the cast as well. However, there is this Japanese actor who plays the old man, Yashida, who does a pretty decent job, but I really would have liked his character to have been more realized. As it is now, he is quite in the start of the movie and at the end of the movie, and in the middle there he is just gone. So I really would have seen more of his character and development of his character, rather than as it is now, because he doesn't really make much sense at the end anyway. But the really great thing about the Wolverine is the little extra scene you get after the end titles, which I won't spoil anything for you here, but when you see the Wolverine, sit down and wait for the credits to roll out, and then you have a really good scene that sort of points towards the next X-Men movie, the Days of Future Past, which will be coming, I think, next year. So yeah, Wolverine gets a 3 out of 5, or a slightly weak 3 out of 5 from me. So there you have it. Those were the 5 movies I've seen over the past week, and I was hoping to see some more movies, but sadly there was some stuff that came in the way, and I have to change up my planning a bit. But next week I am on vacation, and that means I have a ton of time to see some great movies. So that's it for this video, and until next time, take care and bye bye.